Welcome to another Bitcoin futures trading update. Okay, so I briefly touched on a little bit of Bitcoin in the XLM video, but not much, just to prove a point. But as you can see, I've changed the count here on this chart. And the reason I've done that is because you have to understand that these are fractal patterns. Okay, so corrections are the same always. The only thing that makes a difference is basically how the perspective of the wave expected, right? So what wave is anticipated versus the corrective portion within that wave. Okay, so if you don't understand what that means, don't worry because I'm going to explain it to you. Okay, so initially I thought that potentially this could be the wave D, because obviously the wave D here I've marked it as still in progress, probably still coming there. Right, now I did say that 25,000 was the target, right? But you know, the waves are still performing beautifully. Nothing wrong with the gains made here, especially with a bit of leverage, right? You know, not to say that you should be careful, not be careful. So okay, so you made some profits. That's great, but you need to keep reevaluating the waves, right? Because like I said, we are dealing with fractal patterns, right? So things can change depending on the structure. So here I've labeled, well, the D wave I thought originally was around, I think it was around here with the 3 years, right? Because you see like a zigzag pattern, one A, B, C, whatever. But then taking another look around, I thought, wave 4 didn't touch the prior section of wave 1 and 2. This could be 5-wave move. That correction still stands fine, so that trade was never a problem. What it did here is it went up in 1, 2, didn't go below critical support, kept going higher, created this 1, 2 pattern. Okay, so something there made me think, okay, potentially wave A, B, and C is unfolding. Okay, so which means probably like 1, 2, 3, probably still, still getting there, right? Not quite yet. And then because obviously if you have a wave 3, that's not supposed to touch that. So wave 4 is probably still unfolding for 3, then you get a 5. So potentially the wave D could get us to 25,000. But then that means that there's even more upside after you get the wave E. Okay. And what would the upside be? Well, all you got to do is go back to the initial move, right? I feel like a broken record by now because I keep explaining this stuff. Are you getting it? Do you get it yet? Right, D followed by E, and then you extrapolate out after you get the end of the E wave. Obviously this is a basic measurement. There's ways to measure that you can use, but this is just bear with me here, right? So once you get the end of D wave, you're going to get a move down, and then you probably get another move up. So what does that move up mean? Okay, is that going to be the start of a new trend? Okay, so I've got a couple of ideas of what could be happening here, right? And it has a lot to do with the larger pattern. Okay, so as I've mentioned before in my previous videos, I'm going back to my old idea that this is an A-B pattern, right? Now, for some reason, I haven't got it really marked on this chart, but essentially, it's A, it's B. Now, if we're looking for a C wave down, but yet we're looking for this kind of move up, what does that mean? Okay, so 5-wave moves come in 3 different flavors. Okay, you have a regular 5-wave move, you have a type 1 and a type 2 5-wave move, right? So what possibly could be happening here is that we could be potentially getting a type 2 weak 5-wave move to the downside. Okay, which means that it's not going to go down boom in a straight line like everyone thinks, but rather it's going to step down in three waves. Oops, sorry. So in other words, you're going to get one correction, two correction, three, right? Wherever that takes us, who cares? The point is, if you want a futures trade or you want to have any kind of idea of what's going on, if you don't understand the waves, you got diddly squat chance of understanding what's going on here. That's the main point of what I just said then, right? So you got to take into consideration all these things. Okay, so apart from that, let's go back down to where we were. Okay, most likely it will be, just a bit of an expanded wave A, and I think that once we get there, once we get to the final move of the wave A, you're going to see potentially a step down, like just say for example that's the end of the A wave. You could get a step down in three waves for B, C, and then D, E, right? And then you can go for the next zigzag down, right? That's the type of in-depth knowledge AriasWave gives me, right? Um, and if I need to remind you again, yes, I created it over about 6 years. Testing is ongoing, and that's where all these ideas come from. Okay, so to have this much knowledge on the waves, to be able to produce this type of content, you can't just do it on the fly. You can't just make it up, right? And especially when you're getting results like this, right? I told you to go long here, around somewhere here, and you know what? It's moving up. You've doubled your money, or you've learned something. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, right? I don't know where the trolls are at. They've disappeared. Obviously, they've been wiped out during the bear market. But the point is that it's doing what I said it would, right? We were never allowed to break support, which was, if you remember when I said it, it was down here. That was the support line, right? Did we ever go down below that? No, we didn't. We bounced and bounced and bounced. Regardless of how we bounced. And we never went down. AriasWave was always created for futures trading, right? Because I started off testing with the euro, right? The Dow Jones, Aussie dollar, USD right? I've even got a video where I told you the USD is going to do what it's doing now. You can go back, have a look. It's done exactly that. It's pumped like you wouldn't believe, right? Great trade, amazing trade. Um, it's this type of stuff that you need to keep in mind when you're trying to follow Elliott wave, or you're trying to follow the poop cannon guy, or whoever it is you're trying to follow. you know a lot of people, they try to extrapolate like economists. Oh, whatever happened before will happen again in the future, right? What is that one thing they keep telling you in the terms and conditions when you sign up to these trading platforms, right? Past performance is not indicative of future price action, right? That's because they know that you're gonna try and extrapolate, just like economists do, and look what they've done to our economy, right? Not too good. So AriasWave basically turns the whole thing into an understandable format methodology for you to understand how to operate the waves, right? Even during bear markets, you can make money, right? If you're futures trading, right? Which is not hard to get a futures account if you have a bit of experience on other platforms that aren't crypto related. Even they still take those documents. Not the point. Even if you want to know when you should get out of your coins, right? You need to have some kind of idea of when you should get out, right? And that's the whole point here. If you shouldn't be in, well, you shouldn't be in. What can I say to you, right? Um, so nobody's perfect, right? I've had my mistakes. I've made my mistakes. I've been right, and then I've changed it to an incorrect idea, and then I've gone back to the right idea, right? It's because this sort of stuff takes conviction. And how do you get to that place where you can have conviction? It's just practice, right? It's practice, like riding a bike, right? No one can tell you how to ride a bike. You got to fall off a few times, right? Get injured a few times before you know how to ride the bike, right? It's the same with reading the waves, right? And I mean that specifically to reading the waves. I don't mean that to trading in general, because God knows people use all sorts of things like indicators, oscillators, copy trading, and other people's advice and ideas, right? So, you know, take it upon yourself to learn a life skill. And in my opinion, my life skill, the one that I cherish the most, is knowing how to read the waves. Okay? Because look right in front of you, right? A prediction like this, a prediction like other ones that I've made, check out the XLM video. I'll show you one I made last night. We are expecting a bounce. We are. But it comes with a caveat. Not every coin is going to bounce the same, because we could still be in a bear market, right? So you need to be cognizant and very careful and act accordingly. But you need to understand what's going on. If you don't understand what's going on, then how the hell do you know whether you should stick your hard-earned dollars into something, right? Especially in these insane volatile markets like cryptos, right? It's literally like a casino. AriasWave tries to make it so it's not like a casino, right? It just tries to make it so you have an idea, you have an understanding, you can follow the channel, you don't have to learn anything. You can just do what you've always done, right? Follow someone else. But if you want to feel that peace of mind of knowing how you should do it yourself, then don't follow anyone. Just learn it yourself. Okay, that's enough from me. I'll catch you in the next one.